Hello, I'm Jonasz Rewiński and this is Military Mind. Armed conflicts, defense and security, land, sea and air. We've got you covered. The Russian forces launched a massive overnight attack on Ukraine on Friday. Authorities say 160 attack drones were detected over Ukrainian territory. As a result of the strike, part of a district in Odessa was temporarily left without electricity, water and heating, according to the head of the city's military administration. He said a critical infrastructure facility was damaged and the blast wave also caused damage to residential buildings. This is not the first night Russia has targeted Ukraine's energy infrastructure, particularly in the southern regions during the winter and heating season. In response, Ukrainian drones struck energy infrastructure inside Russia in the Oryol region. An object of municipal infrastructure sustained damage. The attack caused disruptions to heat and electricity supplies, and local schools and kindergartens were forced to suspend operations. Monitoring projects, citing eyewitness videos, report that the target was likely the Oryol thermal power plant. In the Samara region, drones reportedly hit the Togliatli Azot plant, one of the largest ammonia producers in Russia and globally. Meanwhile, on the 18th of December, Estonia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said that the previous day, border guards recorded an illegal crossing of the temporary control line on the Narva River by Russian troops. According to Estonian authorities, 3 Russian border guards entered Estonian territory without permission. They reportedly arrived on a hovercraft, walked along a pier, and then returned to the vehicle and crossed back into Russia. Estonia's Interior Minister Igor Taro said the motives of the Russian border guards remain unclear. Turning to the Ukrainian front line now, over the past year, Russian forces have repeatedly attempted to capture both parts of Kupiansk, a city divided into eastern and western halves by the Oskil River. Their greatest success came during an advance from a bridgehead on the western bank, allowing Russian troops to move through the city center and reach the southern outskirts. However, Ukrainian resistance pockets remained, including in the southwest and central areas. At the same time, Russian forces managed to seize the industrial zone in eastern Kupiansk. The Russian bridgehead on the western bank of the Oskil has long faced serious supply problems, particularly with heavy weapons. Artillery units and even drone operators were often forced to operate from the eastern bank, shaping the bridgehead into a narrow, elongated strip along the river. Ukrainian units have since taken the northern outskirts of Kupiansk and effectively cut off Russian assault groups in the city center and southern districts from their main bridgehead. Ukrainian troops have also been spotted on the central square of the city. According to Michael Kaufman, senior fellow at the Carnegie Endowment, around 150 Russian soldiers remain in Kupiansk, but they do not control the city. Instead, they are largely hiding in basements from Ukrainian drones and artillery. As a result, Kupiansk is now described as mostly a grey zone. In the Belgorod region, Ukrainian artillerymen of the 15th Separate Reconnaissance Brigade, known as Black Forest, dealt a devastating blow to enemy positions. According to reports, 2 Russian S-400 launchers were destroyed or at least seriously damaged, with ammunition reserves also likely affected. The destruction was the result of accurate and timely fire from Ukrainian units, which used intelligence data to achieve the maximum effect. This operation demonstrates the ability of Ukrainian artillerymen to operate not only on the front lines, but also on critical enemy targets within its own territory, causing real losses to the Russian air defenses. And now we're moving to Zaporia in Ukraine's Zaporia region. Footage shot by a Ukrainian soldier shows the extent of the destruction in the city, where Russian troops are trying to break through, throwing more and more units into the fray. gloomy, burned-out ruins of buildings, devastated streets, and remnants of civilian infrastructure come together to paint a truly horrifying picture. The enemy continues its offensive, but Ukrainian defenders are tracking their every move and are ready to fight back. Footage from the front line shows how exhausting and dangerous this confrontation is for both sides. So this is actually what the so-called Ruski Mir, or the Russian world, looks like. Utter destruction. And all because of the delusions of the Kremlin leadership. Of course, the war in Ukraine has claimed many casualties, and many of those cities remain in ruins. Unless, of course, there is a major turn of the tide, and perhaps a further pressure on Russia itself. Now, we're going to move on to our next story. Ukrainian Special Operations Forces in the Lugansk region delivered a precise and effective strike on a Russian artillery depot that supplied the 101st Separate Logistics Brigade of the Russian Federation's 51st Army. According to Ukrainian intelligence, the depots contained artillery ammunition, rocket shells and spare parts for equipment used on the front lines. The strike caused massive explosions and destroyed critical enemy supplies, significantly limiting the ability of Russian troops to conduct intensive shelling of Ukrainian positions. Moving on to the next story, a group from the 8th Special Operations Forces Regiment of Ukraine is searching for enemy forces on the front line. Now, footage from the combat video shows camouflaged positions, dugouts, scattered items, and a generator. Clear signs that the enemy used this area but left in a hurry. As Ukrainian troops approached, enemy movement was detected, and the group immediately engaged in combat. The result of the operation, one occupier was eliminated and the rest have retreated.
Сдавайтесь, будете жить! Пацаки, крийте! Де, ти бачиш бліндаж? Де? Пацаки, заберіть, хтось справа. Давай, крий. Там далі купанір. Пішли до купаніра. Пацаки, крий. А другий йде. Півішка, пацани. Один, давайте вчора.
Двоє цих було видно тільки двох.
Есть, магазин раз.
And with this, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. Please stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news, updates and content.